So you can do more of this. Just think of common words that people will send to you and set an auto response for that word. Alright, welcome to the premium version of this app. In this video, I'll be showing you how to automate your WhatsApp to respond to clients even without your presence. Okay, my name is Isaac Matt, and let me show you how. Now, the digital space is going wild, and so also is automation. Automation in the sense that you have both chatting with your clients and not just randomly, but specified messages that you have assigned to that bot. Now, to bring that into reality, all you have to do is to create a rule and set an auto response for that rule. Now, we have different methods you can use to set up your auto response, and I'm going to be showing you each of these methods one after the other, starting with the exact match. Now, let's say you have a word like hi, for example. Usually, hi is a common word that people usually use as a greeting format. Okay, so all you have to do is to set a reply message to hi. So let's say someone sends me hi, I can just send an auto response as hello. Okay, now let's go ahead and test this rule. To do that, just click here and we have hi. You can see that as soon as I send a message hi, I'll get an auto response as hello, and this is for exact match. Okay, now we have the similarity match. Now this similarity match will trigger a response if the word sent is similar to the set word. Okay, let's say I have a word like hello, and then my auto response is hi, welcome. Let's go ahead and test this rule. So immediately I sent hello, I'll get an auto response as hi and welcome. Now the difference between the exact match and the similarity match is if, let's say peradventure I make or the customer makes a mistake, for example, who instead of hello and then you make a mistake like this, hello, I'll get a response. Or maybe I have a word like this, hello, I'll still get a response because it is set as similarity match. Okay, now this auto response is immediate. If you don't want this auto response to respond immediately, you can just go to your rule settings, scroll down and set a delay in seconds. Okay, you can have, for example, a 5 seconds delay. Once you are done with the setup, just click on done and let's test the rule. Now let's wait for 5 seconds, and you can see I get an auto response after 5 seconds. Now there are also other settings you can explore. Just click on the rule. Now you can have multiple replies to only one text. Okay, so to do that, just click on this plus icon and set another reply message. For example, I can say, how can we be of service to you? Now you can decide to set a delay in seconds, let's say like 3 seconds. Okay, it may vary depending on your preference. Okay, now this delay is different from this delay. Now this delay is for multiple replies, and this delay is for the first auto response. Okay, it's for the initial auto response. So I think this is great. So you can set up your auto response to be received by individuals, groups, or even both of them. Okay, now scrolling down we have specific contacts. Okay, now you can set specific contacts you want this auto response to reply to. For example, you may set contact for UK numbers. Okay, for Nigeria we have +234, and then you add a star at the end, and that is for Nigeria numbers. For non-contact you can use this format, and you can also use a specific group name whereby anytime someone with that group name replies to you. For example, let's say you have a group as free graphics. Okay, and you have extracted their contact as free graphics 1, free graphics 2, and so on and so forth. Now anytime someone with free graphics messages you, they get responded. In case you want to ignore contacts, you can decide to upload them here. You can upload them manually, and you can also use some codings. Okay, now we have specific times and days. For example, let's say you work from Monday to Saturdays, you can just include them here. Okay, and we have the pause rule. Now the pause rule, if you want to pause your auto response to that particular text. For example, let's say someone sends you hi. Okay, and you don't want the auto response to respond to hi for, let's say, an hour. You can just set it. You can set it for days. You can set it for the number of messages sent, depending on your scale of preference. Okay, we also have the sub menu. The sub menu is just like creating an auto response for more than 2 texts. Okay, at your leisures you can explore the use of the sub menu. Okay, so once you are done setting up your rule, just click on OK. So the third option I will be showing you is the pattern matching. So the way the pattern matching works is that it works with star and double slash. Okay, so star can stand for anything and it can stand for nothing. So this double slash stands for all. Okay, so it can be used to separate two different messages at once. Okay, now scrolling up we have a guide. Okay, so we have messages that start with text. Okay, so this star here represents messages that comes after text. So this star can be anything, it can be of any length, and so on and so forth. Now messages that end with text, so this star here represents any message, any text that comes before text. Okay, and here any message that contains text. So this star here can be anything, and star here can be anything. So as far as you have a text and it contains text, or any word you want to use, actually the auto response is going to trigger a response to the messenger. So scrolling down we have some examples. So you can see hey star you. So this star can represent how are. Okay, including this comma. Now we also have thank star. Okay, so this star represents s here, and it can also represent you very much. So like I said, this star can represent anything, any text. Okay, now here we have the double slash to separate this code from this code. Okay, so this is great. Let's go ahead and explore all of these options practically. Okay, so I'll create a new rule. Make sure you select the option you want to use before creating that rule. Okay, so as a business owner, one of the interesting texts you want your customers to send to you is can I have your account details, or can I have your account number, for example. Okay, now using this text, anytime a customer sends me a message that contains account details, the auto response will trigger a response to that customer. Okay, then I can use the double slash to differentiate. So either of these messages sent to me, the auto response will trigger a response to that messenger. Okay, you can also add other options. Remember, you have to use the double slash to differentiate between two options. Okay, so what a customer will send to you may vary. Okay, some customer may say, I want to make payments, or can I have your payment info? So you have to think, and you have to be like the customer. You have to be in the mind of the customer and think of what can your clients text you, what messages, depending on the kind of business you are doing. Just think, what word, what common words can they use? For example, if you are a tailor, okay, you should know the kind of words your customer will send to you. So depending on your profession, you should know the kind of words and response you will give to your customers. Okay, so I think I'm done with this. Remember, this star can represent anything, and this double slash is used to separate this from this, to separate this from this, and so on. Okay, so let me create a response for this. So this is great. Now I don't want people to know that this is an auto response, so I'll just create a 5 seconds delay, and I'll click on OK. Now the next option I want us to talk about is the expert pattern matching. Okay, make sure you click on it. So as the name implies, the expert pattern matching is usually for experts, that is those that have little or more knowledge of coding. Okay, but there are actually some simple steps you can carry out, like the 10 star, okay, which can represent one, tens, hundreds, and so on. Okay, we have the high plus, which can represent high, high. Okay, so you can use this because some messengers will send you high, and some will send you the long high. Okay, you can explore all of these options at your leisures. Okay, you can also use this method to trigger a response to any email address received. Okay, so you can also check out this website to learn more about the expert pattern matching. Okay, now the fifth method I want us to talk about is the welcome message. Now the welcome message doesn't need a text to be answered. Okay, once you click on it, it responds to any messages sent by new customers. Okay, it doesn't respond to messages from those in your contact list. Okay, it only responds to messages in your non-contact. Okay, you can also set it to response when you are added to a new group, and so on and so forth. Okay, so just create an awesome welcome message. For me, I use this. You can see, hi, welcome to ISM Digitals. Please save our contacts so that you can view our status. Yours is saved automatically. So I use this strategy to get new messengers to save my contacts. And I'll also use an autosave app to save their own contacts. So it is as simple as that. So you can explore the rest of the settings at your leisures. So once you are done, just click on OK. Now let's go ahead and check the settings of the autoresponder. Clicking on this menu icon, we have the settings. So you can select the version of WhatsApp you want this autoresponder to work with. Let's say you have two different kind of WhatsApp and you want the autoresponder to work with only one. You can just select this option here. Okay, scrolling down, you can explore all of these settings at your leisures. Okay, we have the similarity threshold, so you can increase or decrease the rate at which you want the similarity match to function. Okay, so depending on your scale of preference, just customize your settings. Okay, Now, what can you do if the autoresponder stops working? Now, you have to check this tab and ensure that it is turned on. Okay. If you want to deactivate the autoresponder, you can just turn it off and turn it on when you need it. Okay. Now, clicking on this menu icon, we have four options you can use to solve the issue if the autoresponder stops working. The first one is the notification access. So ensure you go to your settings, turn off and turn on the notification access. Okay. The second method, you have to check your battery settings, check your optimizing settings, remove background restrictions, and enable automatic start for autoresponder of the device. Okay. Let's say you restart your device, for example, the autoresponder will stop working. So depending on your device, some device can auto restart the autoresponder, and meanwhile some can't. So in case you restart your device or you turn on ultra power, just go to step one, turn off the notification access and turn it back on. Okay, you can do that using this button here. Now the third step, you have to ensure that the notification of the autoresponder is visible on your device. Okay, something like this. So to customize that settings, just click on this button here and do that. Okay, so the fourth step, you have to ensure that the rules you created are correct. So if I'm to advise, I would say you should go for the simpler rules. Start with the simpler rules before going for the complex rules, like the expert pattern matching, for example. Okay, so with all these steps, your autoresponder should be working back once again. Okay, now using the autoresponder is very simple. You just have to think of what your messenger will send to you and set an auto response to them. Now you can see this is good morning separated by good afternoon and good evening. So I save myself the cost of replying messages of good morning, good afternoon and good evening. So once anyone sends me good morning, for example, they get an auto response, hello and welcome. Okay, so with that they can move on and go straight to the point without even me being there. Okay, so you can also use the autoresponder for Facebook ads or Instagram ads, for example. Okay, so you can just set the template text of Facebook and set an auto response for that ads. Okay, you can see this rule. Okay, so let's say you're hosting a class, for example, let's say a web design class. You can just include in your flyer send web to your number, and then you just set an auto response to the word web. So now let's go practically to WhatsApp and test all of these settings we have customized. Okay, so I have two WhatsApp and I'm going to switch to one of them. So let's say we have hi. Remember I set a 3 seconds delay for hi. So you can see hello and how can we be of service to you. So this is great. So you can see how cool this is. Okay, so you can do more of this. Just think of common words that people will send to you and set an auto response for that word. I would be attaching a file that contains common words that people send and auto response you can send to them. Thank you for watching. I remain your humble Isaac Matt. See you in another class. Bye.